start? So yesterday we have completed.
Excuse me, madam.
Let's suppose neuron, axon terminals, and next neuron, again it's axon terminals. And this part you know very well, this junction between neurons is called synapse. This gap is called synaptic cleft. So what we have done last class, how impulse is transmitted here in the axon. Now impulse transmission we have done. And yesterday we have completed how nerve impulse transmission here we have completed at the synaptic cleft. Nerve impulse transmission we have completed. Even yesterday I explained how it is transmitted here. Here we are done. From here to here we are done. And you know very well, always nerve impulse starts at axon hillock, I told you. Where axon is initiated, we call that region as axon hillock. So, how it is initiated here, this part also we have done yesterday. Like you know very well, this neuron is called postsynaptic neuron, and potentials whatever created here are called postsynaptic potentials. Here they are action potentials. So yesterday I explained you, unlike action potentials, if you remember, action potential nerve impulse transmission follows all are non-phenomena. It follows all are non-phenomena. But here, at this place, not at all are non-phenomena. So we give one statement as I dictated.
Graded.
Unlike action potentials, postsynaptic potentials are what?
Graded.
Yeah, graded. Graded means summation occurs, important. Summation means adding, one after other, adding. Summation occurs near
At the axon hillock.
where?
Axon.
Axon hillock. Very important question. Near axon hillock. Got it? So suppose if they are excitatory graded kada, if excitatory postsynaptic potentials are high, then what happen here?
It gets depolarized.
Depolarization.
Causes depolarization. As it is graded, if inhibitory postsynaptic potentials are higher, more in number, then it causes
Hyperpolarization.
Here in the initial segment, it causes hyperpolarization. So what gates are open if it is hyperpolarization?
K plus gates.
Potassium.
Potassium is open, disturb the what you can say, means it doesn't allow the action potentials to run. If it is depolarization, which gates open?
Sodium gate.
Sodium gates.
So if sodium gates open, action potentials run. So postsynaptic potentials are excitatory or
Inhibitory.
isn't it? So what you understood, how that information message is carried on the axon we have done last week, it is in our syllabus. And how it is carried in the gap, as I told you, it's a structural gap but chemical bridge. So through neurotransmitters, it is travel here. And it is important and a 4-mark question for your board exam. So this part also done. And yesterday we have done postsynaptic neuron. Idi behind the synapse. So how it is done here, understood. All of you understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Here you will get, unlike action potentials on the axon, postsynaptic potentials are never follow all or none phenomena, but they are graded. Means one by one, they are added here. Like suppose, first impulse traveled, 1. Second potentials added, 2. Third potentials added, 3. Like that. All they are summed together, Summing means adding together, summation. So they are added here at this region. Wait a minute. Again, I'll draw. Yes, here in the axon hillock, they are added. So very important direct question, multiple choice question. Summation occurs near, they give, near the axon hillock, near the dendrites, near the axon terminal, like that they give 4 options. So summation occurs near axon hillock. In that summation, if excitatory potentials are more, depolarization, and it increases the function of the organ. In that summation, if inhibitory potentials are more, then it causes hyperpolarization, means potassium gates open, total neuron, you know very well, if it is at hyperpolarization, it cannot initiate any impulse, isn't it? So organs function is decreased. So I told you already yesterday, like when you are in emergency situation, heartbeat is increased, lung ventilation increased, blood circulation increased, pressure increased, so that we get more energy, more oxygen to the muscle, so we can cope up with that emergency situation. Again, when we sit back, we are at calm. If we are calm and sitting quiet, resting, then heartbeat should come to the normal level. Lung ventilation should come to the normal level. Blood pressure again normal. So then it is inhibitory. Like that, according to the requirement, your body organs work is initiated, excited, or inhibited. It depends upon the condition. Okay, good. Next. Yesterday, I asked you to remember this neurotransmitters, these chemicals here. So it is 2-mark question for board exam, very important. At the same time, important for your NEET exam also, because they ask you the list of the neurotransmitters. So here I'm writing that list, important. Let us go through the neurotransmitters. And you know very well, which one is the common neurotransmitter?
Acetylcholine.
Acetylcholine.
Yes, it is a neurotransmitter which is filled in the synaptic vesicles. Most common neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. Okay. So what are the points here you have to remember related to this acetylcholine? It is the most common type of neurotransmitter seen in both invertebrates as well as vertebrates. Correct? And one more important point you have to remember here. It acts as both excitatory.
Madam, excuse me, madam.
Everyone. Yes, sir.
Madam, head office నుంచి ఒకరు వచ్చారు
I
మేడం,
can't
రైజ్
hear.
చేస్తారు, హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ చేస్తారు. మేడం,
ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్, ఎవరు?
మేడం, హెడ్ ఆఫీస్ నుంచి మేడం, హెడ్ ఆఫీస్ అని ఉంది, హైజ్ రైజ్ చేస్తారు కదా, వాళ్ళకి ఒకసారి కోహోస్ట్ ఇవ్వండి మేడం.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే 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 కోహోస్ట్ చేయాలా?
కోహోస్ట్ చేయండి వాళ్ళని.
ఓకే
ఓకే మేడం, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
So Nana, it is both excitatory and also can act as inhibitory neurotransmitter, important. And it is not a amino acid derivative, important. It is choline means it is lipid. Acetylcholine means it is lipid. Now, next important point, important, you'll get question on this. Biogenic amines. Biogenic amines means they are amino acid derivatives. Amino acid derivative. Amino acid derivatives. Got it? Like example. First one we are going through epinephrine. Epinephrine. Second one, dopamine. Dopamine. Serotonin. All they are amino acid derivatives. Like in hormone lesson you will study. Means if you remember epinephrine means, see, already you are having some basic idea in your 10th class, you might have studied about hormones. Above the kidneys, what is the hormonal endocrine gland?
Adrenal
Adrenal
gland.
Yes, adrenal, above the kidney, epinephrine. Understood the sound meaning? Adrenal, epinephrine. So this epinephrine neurotransmitter is also secreted by the medulla of adrenal gland. Got it? So epinephrine, you'll study it in hormone lesson. Adrenaline. So it is amino acid derivative. And they are also, this biogenic amines also act both as excitatory and inhibitory depending upon the receptor. Depending upon the receptor. Both excitatory and inhibitory. It depends upon the receptor. Now, next one. I'm elevating with separate color. Green color I'm going to use here. See, now, another types. Another types.
Excuse me,
Only, Chepnana.
ma'am, is that epinephrine and non-epinephrine same, ma'am?
Same none.
Okay.
Of course, both two are two different things. Norepinephrine, epinephrine. Small methyl group. You'll understand in the hormone lesson. So I'm not explaining it here.
Okay, ma'am.
Small difference, Nana. And that enzyme removes methyl group, then it is norepinephrine.
Excuse me,
Otherwise,
ma'am.
norepinephrine.
In the material they give it given as a norepinephrine, ma'am.
Norepinephrine, yes. Norepinephrine means that methyl group will be there. Functionally, both are same. Only small difference, a small group will be there, which will be removed. If enzyme, some 20% cells consists enzymes, that enzyme can remove that. So it is norepinephrine, epinephrine. Got it? Also called as adrenaline, noradrenaline. And which amino acid you know? It is tyrosine amino acid, derived from, even dopamine also derived from tyrosine amino acid. Okay, now both are same. Functionally, both are same. Clear, Nana? Of course, you'll study them in detail in the hormone lesson. After nervous system, it is hormone only, because both work together in a coordinating way. There you'll understand in detail about their functions. Here, just remember the names of those hormones. Of course, you may get a doubt how we have studied in the medulla of the adrenal gland, they are secreted. Then how they are neurotransmitters. So every detail you are going to study there. Now, continue next part. Yes, we are discussing the list of the neurotransmitter, acetylcholine, the common, completed. Biogenic amines, second one, derivatives of amino acid. Best example, if it is a tyrosine amino acid, they are epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine. They also act as neurotransmitter. Both, they act as both excitatory and inhibitory. Now I am taking third type. So first one, second one, now take third type, which act as only inhibitory. Yes, GABA, GABA. What's the full form? Gamma amino butyric acid. Gamma amino butyric acid, short form GABA. And one more example is there, glycine. These two neurotransmitters act only as inhibitory neurotransmitters. So suppose example, if a question is there in the NEET exam, given below following are the neurotransmitters, the given below are the neurotransmitters, find out the odd one. Okay, so the four options will be given. Epinephrine, ledu, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine. Which one is odd one? Acetylcholine, yes. Biologic, I mean, derivative, these are derivatives of amino acid. So these three are biogenic amines. Got it, Nana? In the same way, which of the following is an inhibitory neurotransmitter? Only inhibitory neurotransmitter. Remaining all are both excitatory as well as inhibitory. Which of the following is only inhibitory? So they'll give question, acetylcholine, serotonin, dopamine, glycine.
Glycine.
Glycine. Like that, you'll get question at the same time for board exam. All this list you have to give 2 mark question it is. Important. Clear, Anana?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
we understood how an impulse is transmitted here. We understood how that information carried through this gap, and we understood how it occurs in the cell body so that new impulse is initiated. Clearer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we understood the functional capacity, I mean, functional process of the neuron. Okay, one more point is left, that is, like I'm elaborating this region, I'm drawing diagram here. Here's this one, like it is synaptic vesicle, and this is next neuron. You know, this is pre-synaptic membrane, and this is post-synaptic membrane. And you know, in the synaptic vesicles, big synaptic, in the synaptic knobs, synaptic vesicles are present which are filled with neurotransmitters. Kada, this is synaptic knob, and this is synaptic vesicle, and the filled ones are chemicals are neurotransmitters. So we are understanding this region, so I have elaborated that, and you know very well, yes, once impulse traveled here, calcium gates open, calcium ions enter inside and allow the synaptic vesicle move forward and release the acetylcholine into the synaptic cleft. Then what happened to this acetylcholine?
Lignan gated channel.
Attach on the
Lignan gated channel.
oh yeah,
Receptor.
ligand gated channel receptors. So just imagine they are attached here. It is acetylcholine, ACH short form, ACH attached on the receptor on the postsynaptic membrane. Yes, it is receptor. Already yesterday we have done this. Then why again I'm repeating? See, try to understand, you know very well, we receive several impulses. Kada? First impulse, travel, and acetylcholine is released, attach on the postsynaptic membrane. It initiated the second impulse here. Okay, good. Now, if you want to run the second impulse, continuously you are listening to my lesson, explanation, and you are trying to understand. It means you are receiving one after other, one after other. The impulses are travel. You are receiving the sound and you are understanding what I am speaking and you are analyzing it in your brain, isn't it, Nana? So, to receive the second impulse, first one should be cleared. Kada, suppose if I want to use this, I will rub this. I will clear this board. Kada? Like suppose if I want to put any new point here, what I'll do, the old ones already I explained and you know that very well, and I remove this over, close. In the same way, first impulse is already traveled up to here. So this acetylcholine molecule should be removed so that the receptor can receive the second one. Okay, second one also traveled. Acetylcholine is attached here. Now, third one. So how third one is added? The second one should be removed. Kada, cleared.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
how that acetylcholine is removed from the receptor so that it can receive a new impulse? How it is removed? See, in this cleft, in the interstitial fluid of this cleft, acetylcholine esterase enzyme is present. Acetylcholine esterase enzyme is present. It converts, it breaks acetylcholine into acetic acid and choline. So both are removed from the receptor. Again, postsynaptic membrane is ready to receive the new stimulus. Understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, Nana? In the same way, just now we have done what is the another important neurotransmitter? Norepinephrine, or you can say epinephrine. So to remove that from the receptor, what is the enzyme? Monoamino, లేదా monoamine oxidase enzyme. Monoamine oxidase enzyme. Note down. Monoamine oxidase enzyme is important to inactivate that norepinephrine. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now continue with the next topic. I think one more point is there. What is that? Small one, additional one. It is not in NCERT but covered in Telugu Academy. What is that? Let us see. Again taking axon terminals, and this is next neuron. So postsynaptic potentials initiated here, you know. Suppose, important, if the here summation occurs here, isn't it? If the summation is 1 plus 1 plus 1 like that, inputs, summation is only from single synaptic button, presynaptic button, then it is called temporal summation. Ante separated by time means what? Acetylcholine released, attached here. First one added there. Again, acetylcholine released and added here. So second one is added. Again, another impulse added. Third impulse, third potentials are added. Like that, if that successive summation inputs summation is, if it is from single presynaptic button, single presynaptic button, then we should call that as temporal summation, means separated by time. One is added, a millisecond gap. Second one is added, 1 millisecond gap, like that, separated by time. Now next one, another one. Spatial summation. Of course, it is additional information for you. Spatial summation means separated by space. If input summation is from several like this here. First one is there, like suppose if I draw 3 or 4 like this, several like this, from several idemo single, now several pre-synaptic buttons, then it is called spatial summation. Several. Completed. Of course, these 2 points are additional points. Now take structure of the nervous system. You know very well, nervous system is divided structurally into what?
CNS,
CNS,
and
ANS, and
CNS.
PNS.
Yes, central nervous system and
Peripheral nervous system.
So now, after completely understanding all the basic fundamental features, like what is the neuron structure, how many types of neurons are there, now fibers are there, types of nerves we understood,
Excuse me,
how
ma'am.
neurons work we understood. Tell.
What about ANS, ma'am?
This week we are having only up to that structure. Got it?
Okay.
And nerves.
Yes, ma'am.
So structurally divided into nerve system, structurally divided into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Already in the first class I have explained. And it includes brain and spinal cord. Got it? So now start with the brain. First one, take the brain. All of you put heading brain. Yes, brain also described as encephalon. Encephalon. And already in the bone lesson you have completed, it is enclosed inside the brain box.
Cranium.
cranium.
So like suppose if you take our human brain, cerebral hemispheres, here pituitary gland, here optic lobes, cerebellum, pons, medulla, and it is continued as spinal cord in the vertebral column, isn't it? So the total structure is enclosed in the brain box, cranium, isn't it? So suppose if I give it, what you can say, black color is the, what is this opening through which spinal cord emerges?
Foramen magnum.
So in the brain box, that opening is called foramen magnum, and the total strong bony box, bony case, what we say in general English as brain box,
Cranium.
and cranium. So brain is protected inside. So you know it is face here, isn't it? Upper jaw, lower jaw, like this. So it is inside the cranium. So already we have done this in the last classes in the skeletal system lesson. Now what is another point now we are going to understand here? Brain is also protected by three layers, protected by three layers called as
Meninges.
meninges. Okay, so three meninges kada. First one is durameter. We'll go through detail afterwards. First we'll write all three. Second one is we'll put information related to it, so I'm giving gap there. Second one is arachnoid matter. Third one I'm putting here, parameter. Okay, so start with the first one. I'm taking black color for that. Okay, immediately below the cranium, important. First of all, try to understand the meaning. Dura means tough, matter means mother. In Latin, dura mater means tough mother. Okay, so Nana, it is a double layer. Important, I said the double layer made up of, important, dense, irregular, is important, dense, irregular, connective tissue sheath. Got it? So just imagine irregularly arranged collagen fibers forming a tough sheath like this below the cranium. That are two layers, Nana. Two layers are there. Double layer. Got it? Next, middle layer. Is the outermost layer just below the cranium. Got it? So this is outermost layer. Now, middle layer. Arachnoid matter. What's the speciality? Why it is named as arachnoid matter? It is spider web like. Spider web like. So you know very well how spider webs look, net like. Spider web like. Okay, important. And very, very important point it is. You'll get question on this. What is that? It is unique, seen only in mammals. Seen in mammals. Important, very direct important point. It is mentioned even in the NCERT textbook in mammalia lesson. And it looks like a spider web. So it is named as arachnoid matter. And it is middle layer. Okay, next, changing color. Third layer, that is innermost layer, matter. Already I told you, dura means tough, matter means mother. Now here it is, pa means soft, matter means mother, soft mother. And important, as we are doing point wise, yes. Highly vascular, so I took red color. Highly vascular, full of blood capillaries, blood supply. And what is another important thing? Immediately on the outer layer of the brain, covering the brain and supplying all the oxygen and nutrients to the neurons. Immediately covering on the brain, giving outermost layer of the brain. This parameter. So immediately present on the immediately forms outer layer on the brain. And all of you, you know very well, highly vascular means, I think by this time you are having that basic knowledge. You understood that what it supplies good amount of
Blood vessels.
yeah,
Blood vessel.
oxygen and nutrients to the brain cells, neurons. Completed? All three layers you understood about the meninges, protection?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, of course, I am giving additional information to you. So you put it in the box. Let me complete that on the board, then you note down. Okay. May I clear this board now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Nana.
Yes, ma'am.
So next you put, what about the other animals? Because every time, whenever you are doing the human, the structures, organs, specialty in the human, you have to compare it with the other animals also. So let us start with the first one, fishes. How these meninges are in fishes, how they are in fishes. Let me put some ink. Yes, how they are in fishes. Let us see. Only one layer in fishes. Write down. Stepwise, we are going to write. There is only one layer in fishes. That is single layer, protective layer around the brain and even on the spinal cord. Meninx primitiva.
Excuse me, ma'am.
What?
Some of the students, ma'am, they're asking you to unlock the meeting, ma'am.
I didn't lock, Nana. Sir is there. I didn't lock. Amphibia, I'm not even touching any controls there. It is, sir is there. In amphibians,
Single layer and
Amma,
after single layer what you have wrote, ma'am?
Meninx primitiva.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
In amphibians, reptiles, and apes, only two layers. What are those? That outer irregular, dense, fibrous connective tissue sheath, durameter, and immediately on the brain, parameter. Like this. Only two layers. Durameter and parameter. And important, in between this space in between these two layers is called subdural space. Got it? And now take mammals. What's the specialty in mammals? You know very well. Just now I explained. Three layers. What are those? As usual, outermost, toughest, made up of two layers, dense, irregular, connective tissue sheath, that is durameter. Okay, and spider web like arachnoid matter, and immediately on the brain, highly vascular. I told you already, parameter. Got it? Three layers in mammals. What are those? Durameter, arachnoid matter, and parameter. Already we are done. What is the importance? outermost below the cranium, tough layer, protective layer, double layer, dense, irregular, fibrous connective tissue sheath. Middle layer, spider web-like, seen only in the mammals, as it is spider web-like, delicate layer, named as arachnoid matter. You know very well in arthropoda you have studied, where spiders, scorpions are included, that class is named as what? Arachnida. Okay, so arachnoid ante, which is because it is spider web-like, arachnoid matter. Immediately outer layer covering the brain, full of blood capillaries, helping, and it's a thin layer, highly vascular layer, supplying oxygen and glucose to the brain cells diameter. Okay, now we will do the spaces, what these spaces are called and what is their importance. As how we give the name for the space, where on which layer, below which layer it is present, we give that name. So here this place is called as subdural space because it is below the durameter. And here put fluid, a little fluid, yes. And this space is filled with important, filled with interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid. Now, below the arachnoid matter, this one, below the arachnoid matter, again I'm taking black color here. As it is below the arachnoid matter, it is called as is it clear? Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Subarachnoidal space. And it is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. I think you know already at school level you have studied. Cerebrospinal fluid. So these are the outer protective layers. Not only in human, in mammals, we are also comparing with the other groups of organisms, because overall for your NEET exam, this overall knowledge is important. You should have this concept important. Put it in the box and note down in your notes. Then I'll start the different regions of the brain, parts of the brain. If you complete, you'll let me know.
Ma'am, is it Mahesh sir, ma'am, who is controlling
Who
the
is your in charge?
Mahesh sir, ma'am.
I know. Why only you bothered about the other people, Nana? Listen to the lesson.
They're messaging me, ma'am.
Don't bother about that. Then you are not listening to the lesson.
Listening, ma'am.
Then last time other people got 180 and how much you are getting? Tell me.
164.
Why? Why, Baleshwar? Tell me. Why are bothered about other people? May I remove? Nana,
Yes,
completed?
Ma'am.
Yes. Now different parts of the brain. Yes, let me explain again comparative way. Even in the second year evolution lesson, you will study it in a comparative way. Let me show you. Like suppose if other animals, if you take, like suppose I'm taking a rabbit here. What is the position? You know. Inside its body, brain is like this. Cerebral hemisphere, cerebrum, cerebellum, and continued here as a spinal cord. Isn't it? Compare the human as we are upright. Kada? We people are upright, Homo erectus, you know, we can stand. So if you take human body here, compare. Our brain show a bending here. Yes, these are cerebral hemispheres, cerebellum. Wait. Medulla oblongata continued as spinal cord. Okay, starting from fishes, listen to me carefully, all of you. Starting from fishes up to mammals, even including man, human. Brain is divided majority into 3 parts. Okay, so we will draw human brain afterwards here in a comparative way. Let me give a general idea. What is that? Divided into 3 parts. Majority parts, 3 parts. What are those? First one it is, I'm using blue color for that. Forebrain, also called as prosencephalon. So what are the parts in the prosencephalon? Cerebrum, olfactory lobes, and in this posterior region, diencephalon. So prosencephalon, forebrain consists 3 major parts. What are those? Cerebrum, and you know which is divided into 2 halves, cerebral hemispheres, olfactory lobes, and this one is diencephalon. Okay, 3 parts in the forebrain. Now I am changing color for midbrain. Also called as mesencephalon. And here in mammals, 4 optic lobes. Of course, they are very small. If I change it separately, if I express with color, very small ones they are. But of course, for our understanding sake, conveniency, I'm drawing big ball like. Yes, 4 optic lobes these are. And this is floor, base. Okay, this part is midbrain. I think important, again, I'm giving additional important point. In mammals, 4 optic lobes. As they are 4 in number, we named it as
Corpora
corpora.
quadrigemina.
Yeah, corpora. Corpus under body nana. Corpus, singular form. Ante body. It is singular form. Corpora, plural form. Quadrigemina, 4 in number. But in other animals, like already I studied in frog, amphibians,
optic
reptiles. Yes, only 2 optic lobes. Very important feature. Already in frog we have studied. Birds, reptiles, amphibians, other vertebrates. Like example, we have done in the frog. Only 2 optic lobes. Very important additional information. Put it in box. 2 optic lobes. Already I have explained in the frog lesson. Only 2 optic lobes. So we named it as Corpora bigemina. Completed? So back to the lesson. So midbrain, mesencephalon, 4 optic lobes completed. Now I'm taking green color for hindbrain. Yes, hindbrain, also named as rhombencephalon. It also shows 3 parts. What are those? Cerebellum, pons here, medulla oblongata, so these are 3 parts of the hindbrain. So try to understand, starting from fish up to man, these are the major parts of the brain. And you know the remaining part. Now it is emerges out of the foramen magnum of the cranium and continued in the vertebral column as,
Spinal cord.
that's good, spinal cord. So these 3 major parts, Nana. Try to understand, even we are more intelligent. We are totally dominating the total living world. But still we too show the same 3 parts, starting from fish up to human. So what is the evolutionary development then? Let us see, even in the human, same parts I'll show, human brain also. So once we have this basic concept, then we'll go for the detail in each, what are those in forebrain, what are the details in the midbrain. Let us go through the next part. So let me show you. Take the cerebral hemispheres. Yes. Here at the bottom, we show olfactory lobes related to smell. Yes, the pituitary gland somewhere here. Of course, when we study, you'll understand it in detail. Pituitary gland. So olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and here diencephalon. And this continuation here, midbrain with those 4 optic lobes. Same colors I'm using. And now it is continued here as pons, cerebellum, medulla, and it is continued as spinal cord. So same 3 parts, 3 major regions. Blue ones, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Even other animals also, starting from fish up to man. Homology, I think you know. Structure same, functionally they are more capable. Kada? We people are highly capable with more coordination, and we are more intelligent compared to the other animals. So what is this evolutionary development where we show that complexity? I'm giving additional point important. So when we are having same 3 basic structures, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, the same parts, even fish also, same cerebrum is there, diencephalon is there, optic lobes are there, cerebellum, medulla, continued as spinal cord. Then what is the difference where we are showing that evolutionary improvement, development? Yes, try to understand. On the dorsal side, complexity increases. Homology example means evolving step by step, it is undergoing evolutionary change, and we are showing more coordination, more complexity. So what are those regions? Let us see. I'm using black color to elevate. Cerebral hemisphere, optic lobes, and the cerebellum with the pons. These three regions are highly evolved, means showing complexity, showing evolutionarily, increasing the complexity. Same regions here also. So first one, cerebrum, optic lobes, cerebellum with this pons, more complexity, more evolutionary. in improvement, changes. Got it? Understood in a comparative way, the basic fundamental regions of the brain. All of you, Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So tomorrow we will continue with forebrain and we can try to understand the parts of the forebrain, then midbrain, and like that. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Bye,
Thank you,
Nana.
ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
ma'am.